Journal entry for December 3rd, 2025. A lot of annoying things just happened, and then I'm getting discouraged, thinking that things will probably fall through and just be another huge pain in the ass for me like they always are. So, Kingdom of Darkness is trying to get me, and I have not, go on, I had not seen the soup kitchen narc leader in a few days, and other people were coming in, so I don't know if he might have gotten in trouble for harassment. Probably not, but it's possible, because I mentioned that my bike was messed with, and if they reviewed those videos, they would see other things too, which I wasn't thinking of at the time. But then I haven't seen him, and other people have been causing trouble. So I know that he said he'd be there the next day the one time, and then there were other people that poisoned my food, and then he was there in the evening. But so he is working with other people. Let's see. Yesterday, I forgot to mention this. Yesterday there was a man there. At least I don't think I mentioned this, and he wasn't like a severe addict, but he had there was something going on. Like, he probably had some addiction or was in recovery, but it wasn't as bad as some of the others. But he actually seemed like kind of a nice person, and kind of jovial, and he had like a kind of a Tigger hoodie on or something, and then like he was talking to me, and he just like come up to me, and I had never seen this person before. And he was talking about how he was a virgin and had never been, he had never seen, like, been with a woman's coochie or something since he was born. and like, he seemed kind of nice, but he also had problems. And, of course, he was trying to hit on me. Now, this is another person at the soup kitchen. So, the narcissist was not able to, the narcissist was not successful. And then, so this guy came, and he said he was a Christian, a believer. He was a virgin. and I said, well, that's great, because, they got this, like, important things coming up, like, for the millennial kingdom, and, I'm not sure. He might have been lying, because maybe they assumed that I would date somebody if they were a believer, like a Christian virgin. No, no, I'm not. Anyways, but he seemed like I would talk to somebody like that. But I think this is the Kingdom of Darkness doing this, and that has something to do with what happened today. So this is just one thing that happened. As I was leaving, I went to the soup kitchen for lunch, and when I was leaving, there was a man there, and he was maybe stop. And as I come to get on my bike, he's like, "Do you like to party?" I said, not really. And so, and he was trying to hit on, this is a different one, and he said that I was attractive, and that's not, and I said, and you look good, and I'm off the market, like I said, like I tell everybody else, I'm off the market. And anyways, these are all people at the soup kitchen. I believe this is the enemy. At this point, I don't really believe anything is real. It's all fake. So, like, first the narcissist was trying to get me, and that failed. And then they're sending just all, like, random people. So, like, it was somebody else yesterday, and then it was somebody else today. But while I was at the soup kitchen today, like, some people will look, and they notice something. They see something. I don't know what it is. I mean, reality looked real, I don't know, 10 years ago, and now everything is fake. Everything looks fake, or maybe this is the reality, and like to watch my dogs. They're playing. But some people look, and it's like they have to be. Is this the Truman Show? And they're watching me. I mean, that's what it looks like. But Reese, good boy. Sarah, quiet. So my new pants I just got and wore like less than one day already got dirty. And this was witchcraft spell. This was a witchcraft spell. But before I get into that witchcraft spell, what the witch did, I'm going to tell you guys the people that I met in the soup kitchen today. Like, I sit next to people that I'm supposed to talk to, and they're supposed to talk to me. And these people, they actually prayed. I wasn't listening too much, but I overheard a little because they were like right next to me and then across. So they were really close. And then they thank God for like an apartment or something. And so I wasn't trying to spy or anything, but I was going to ask him to watch my coat and stuff while I got some water. Because it might get stolen. So that's kind of why I was waiting. Just like ask him to watch this. What's this? Get. So anyways, then we were talking a bit, not a whole lot, but then I asked them if they knew what spiritual warfare, and they're like, warfare was, and they're like, oh yeah. And I don't know if they mentioned something. We didn't talk much. I only said like a few sentences at this point, but I asked them if they knew any place you could get your clothes washed. And they were so nice, and they said, we'll get your clothes washed. Bring them tomorrow. We'll be here tomorrow at about this time. And we'll take you. We have detergent and everything. We'll take you. So, I don't know what's going to happen. I just spent a long time. I had a glove. I put a glove on. This is nasty laundry. It's been sitting here for a long time. So, it doesn't smell good. Like, I was digging through it to pick certain items because I can only put so much. Like, I actually usually go in and we'll use 2 of the super size, like the giant washing machines, one for whites and one's for colors. But this time, I was just trying to get the amount to do one regular load at the laundromat. And so I had to dig through this stuff. It was horrible, and had a glove. And this took me a long time. This took like at least 15, maybe 15, 20 minutes to do this because I was trying not to touch it. And then I still washed my hands twice afterwards. But anyways, I asked them at the soup kitchen, they gave me a bag, but it was kind of still a weak bag because I had a couple left here and they were kind of weak, so I asked if they had another bag because that's the problem with transporting these hazmat, disgusting, dirty clothes. If the bag breaks, like, it's contaminating stuff. This dirty clothes have been here for months. And so I was hoping they would give me like a thick, strong trash bag, but it was just another flimsy one like the 2 I have left here. But at least then I still have a trash bag left for my house when this one is full. So anyways, I'm thinking they actually seemed nice. They wanted to help me. And they, let's see what, they said, bring your clothes tomorrow, we'll take you, we've got a vehicle, or we've got a car, we've got detergent, because they knew what it was like to not be able to get your clothes clean, and they knew what spiritual warfare was, and they prayed, and they said that they thank God for the apartment, so they just got an apartment. So, and when I told them that I actually had a house, but it was sabotaged, they, agreed and, understood. So, I'm thinking as maybe these are 2 people that really want to help, and they've been through it. Or maybe it's just another attack from the kingdom of darkness again. And so then I spent all this time loading up a bag. It was disgusting. I still had to wash my hands several times, and I don't feel clean. And then I kind of squished it into my bike basket. I hope it doesn't rip, and I hope it's not going to fall out. And I can't even secure it that much because the top of it's disgusting. So I can't really secure it in because it's too big to... It sticks up way too high out of the basket to really use. Like, I've got like a bungee strap thing that goes over. It's too big to use that. Plus that the bag is disgusting on the top of it. This is what I mean. It's like trying not to cross-contaminate stuff. I really just wish, like, somebody would take me in their vehicle. But no one will. Like, when I first went to the laundromat, I did a couple times on my own when my vehicle was still working, and I would put my laundry in my trunk, in my van, in my own car. And then when I no longer had the vehicle, then someone else took me to their house and let me use it. And then they didn't do that anymore. And now we don't communicate. And then somebody let me use their washing machine again. Like, this is somebody else. And then they pressed the buttons and selected how to do it, and it wasn't how I would have done it. They put it too high a heat, and my stuff came out wrinkly, and I don't know if anything kind of shrunk. Maybe it was fine. It just didn't look as good because the settings were different than what I usually use. So they seemed like they wanted to help, but they were kind of controlling the way it was done, and the way that I do laundry is a little different. So I was putting a lot in, but I would have put it at the temperature like lower, not so hot, so that the clothes get damaged. So my clothes came out and they weren't looking as good. So I don't even think that was on purpose, but that was a little downer, you know. And they said that that I could come over and do them again, and then I hear from them a few days later that they can't. I'm thinking probably like they got fleas too, but it's not just that. They said that the family was coming over to visit and they didn't have time. Something coming up with family now, and that could be because actually while I was there, a couple of her kids came over while I was at her house, and they couldn't look me in the eyes, and they were kind of looking away. So for some reason they couldn't really look at me, and it sounded like they didn't visit much, but they came over while I was there, and they couldn't look at me. They kind of looked away. And then all of a sudden, they were going to start coming over. So that probably was an attack. And it's also possible that she got fleas from me. Because the kingdom of darkness sends fleas into my yard, sends fleas into my house, sends mice into my house. And actually, so anyways, I was really concerned about laundry at this point, because I had just charged some new warm pants for the winter. And it's like that is getting sabotaged. So when I made the video yesterday mentioning about the woman who I thought was nice, and she kept trying to give me the ramen noodles. And then I refused. And then she tried to give me an orange, and I was like, no, I already had some. And then she tried to give me the bag of Lay's potato chips. And I'm like, fine, I'll eat that. And I took that. She insisted on giving me something, and actually they were like closing. The lights were like really low, like they turned most of the lights off. And so they waited, her and the guy that she was with, they waited to the last minute as everybody was leaving and the place was shutting down, and I believe that is to make sure I took something that they gave me. So even though I went and I gave those chips away, I now know that's not good enough. You can't take it at all. It was cursed. And this has to do with why I needed to go to the laundromat, which I could end up getting screwed again tomorrow. If I somehow managed to make it to the soup kitchen with this flimsy trash bag full of my hazmat dirty clothes without it getting on everything and spilling into the road, if I manage to make it there, watch, they won't be there. Just watch, because this is my luck. Watch, this is what will happen. So I told God, like, they better be there. I'm going to be pissed, like, because God knows I can't handle the filth, like hazmat stuff. And that's how the kingdom of darkness attacks me. But, so, anyways, the woman and the man that she was with, that I talked to yesterday, she was used to cast a spell on me. And now I understand, because when I was saying, like, I couldn't make the ramen noodles and she kept trying to force it on me, she wasn't listening, and when I tried to say I can't cook anything, instead of just acknowledging that and accepting that, then she kept trying to like give me a workaround. Like, oh, you could do this, or you know, you can do this. I'm trying to say no, I can't. I don't have a workaround. Like, that's the situation when you're under spiritual warfare. I do not have a workaround. So I cannot boil water in my house without damaging things more or getting more mice. I'm not going to do it. And so finally, you know, I left it and didn't take it. But, you know, they were closing. She waited till last minute as I was going out to make sure I got those bags of chips. And I will say, I noticed some things that I wasn't aware of. So then they got in the vehicle. She said she was going to be back the next day. Well, they weren't there today. They weren't there. So maybe she didn't know. Maybe, like, she wasn't really aware. Or maybe she was aware. Because you can have, like, demons that possess your body and can be even doing things that the main host might not be aware of. I'm really not sure. Because it seems so wild that just everybody in my life is an enemy and comes and tries to get me. But I guess it's possible. Anything is possible at this point. So I got the bag of chips, and then as I was leaving, I thought, oh, shoot, I'm not supposed to, because I said, don't take anything from a wicked person. And so I didn't really think she was wicked. But then I still thought, you know, I still got to be careful. I shouldn't take. So then I walked around and made sure to give it to somebody else. Well, guess what? That doesn't work. I still got cursed. Oh my gosh. And then I just bought all these new clothes, thinking I'll probably be fine if I don't make it to the laundromat. So, now I've dug through all these nasty things and made a whole other bag, which, like, if I, you know, take that in my bike and it doesn't fall out while I'm biking into the road, while I'm trying not to get hit by cars, and, like, the sidewalk, so the snowplow comes and it shovels all the snow and ice off the road right up onto the sidewalk. So then I can't ride my bike on the sidewalk. Well, I mean, I can, but it's like, it's not safe. So then I'm just going in the road. Because it's like slippery and bumpy and you gotta go like, and it wouldn't be so bad except for the way that it gets pushed up by the snowplow. Then it's all lumpy and stuff. If it just was snowfall, you could bike on it. Like, I biked on just the regular snow, like this high, and that wasn't too big a deal. But the way the snowplow gets it kind of like frozen little balls and it's all slushy, and then it's uneven. So then I'm on the road, and then I've got like this big bag now full of my hazmat, disgusting, dirty clothes in the back of my bike basket. The very top of it's dirty. The rest of the bag on the outside, I guess, is okay. So I can't even secure this in there tighter. So let's hope that doesn't fall out. That doesn't rip. That doesn't just fall in the middle of the road while I'm fucked. So I don't like this at all. God, you better not let this happen to me, because I put my brand new pants in there that I like a lot. And I put my underwear in there too. The last thing I need is for this to rip open on the road. There are a lot of reasons that I don't have clean clothes. And I just got this bike basket like a couple weeks ago. It's been useful. But it's like now I have to get more and more disgusting and dirty to do things. And it should have been fine and lasted and been easy to maintain. But no, every fucking little problem I could have, I have. And watch these people stand me up and screw me over tomorrow too. So if you don't, thank you. But if you do, I'm already thinking that you probably will. And that it's just another way that my life sucks. It's probably just another attack. I know they're trying to get me. So watch, I'll just show up and pray to God that the bag doesn't fall open and it doesn't fly out of the back of my bike basket, because the bag is much larger than the bike basket. And I can't even secure it, like, I can't tape it down, then it'll rip. There's not really much I can do here. There is not much I don't know what to do. This is the situation they put me in. It sucks. And it's like I'm not, but they actually seemed helpful. They want to help. And Louis said, we'll be here tomorrow. But, you know, I don't believe it. So they better be. But I'm praying I can even make it to the soup kitchen. It's more than a mile away. I'm praying I can make it there without this stuff just falling out. and it's not really that safe because a lot of people, even though the speed limit's low, the people like they'll honk. They don't like cyclists. Probably there are a lot of demonically influenced people too. Like when I was leaving the soup kitchen for dinner, um, they wanted me to get over, like, there's a bike lane on some of these roads, but then like the snow plow doesn't completely get rid of all of the ice and snow, so of course the bike lane is still kind of messy, and it still has some like snow in it. It's not too bad, but it's not as safe as the regular road. But when you have to turn left, you can't be in the bike lane. So like here it is, like there's like a little circle. It's in the downtown center, and I'm like going to. There's like a block, and there's a red light at the end of each block, and it's like 25 mile per hour, and I'm not even biking that slow. And then like because I am still in this lane and not over in the little bike lane where all the ice and snow is on the edge of that, so it's like much more narrow than normal. Then somebody just like honks several times because I'm still in the regular road, and the light was red, and it didn't take them any longer to get through the light either, because this is like one block, and I was only going slightly slower than the other cars that were stopped at a red light. And so then somebody keeps honking. I turn back and I look at him, and I put my hand up like that I'm turning left, and then I get in the turn lane, and then the rest of them continue forward because they're going straight and they're not turning left, which is why I couldn't get over. This is what I mean. Like these people, these people. So me being on the road more and more, it's probably a good thing. So like when it does come to cyclists, it's like probably some homeless guys that have, or like they're staying in a homeless shelter. There's probably some men nearby, like addicts, and some that are recovering addicts or alcoholics. No, probably more alcoholics, because addicts can't keep anything. So I'm thinking these are more like alcoholics, or, people that were arrested and released, probably at one point had been in drugs, but mainly like alcoholics. There's a few men that have bikes, that bike around. I'm the only woman that has a bike and bikes around. So I'm assuming these people, they just kind of usually go slower. I go a little bit faster, but since it's been snowing, I don't. But like me being on the road, I'm not going to run myself off the road. And then if somebody's rude, like I turn back and I look at them. And then they honk at me, then I just stay. Like, what are you going to do, run me over? Because you try to run me over, your car's going to flip and be totaled. That is exactly what's going to happen, because we are highly protected. Me being on the road is making it safer for everybody else. And there are a bunch of narcissists out there. One thing that did happen at the soup kitchen earlier. Oh, before I even say it. So this woman, she cursed me. She cursed me with the bag of Lay's potato chips. I even gave it away. I didn't even eat it. She cursed me. And I should have known, because as she was leaving, she needed help. She had a walker. And the man she was with helped her and got her into the car and loaded her stuff, because she was unable to do this herself. And I noticed a bad smell. As she was, like she needed to have a shower. I'm not making fun of her, because I smell bad. Like, I make not that much right now. But, like, I would go, like, a month sometimes with no way. Like, or, a couple weeks. So I'm sure I smelled bad, too. That's absolutely true. But I didn't know I could go to the soup kitchen and take a shower. And she was at the soup kitchen, and there was a shower right there. So she could have taken one that day, but did not. And she even mentioned, if you need to have a shower, you could do it here. I said, I wish I knew that last year. And also, I still had money last year, so I wouldn't want to go to the soup kitchen. I didn't have, there was a period of time I didn't have a shower that was usable, but I still had money in my account, so I got a Planet Fitness membership. And because I didn't think it'd be right to go to a soup kitchen, when I still have some money left. And anyways, she was there, knew about the shower, and did not take the shower. And she made sure that I took some food, and then was leaving. And she did say, we'll be back tomorrow. She seemed nice, though. This is the thing, like, she seemed nice. But here's the tell. When I tried to tell her I couldn't cook, like, she wasn't hearing. She wasn't listening to me when I tried. I'm trying to explain to myself why, and she's not acknowledging it, or my situation, where I don't need to explain for an hour why I can't use my stove and what all has got there. And if I try to do this, like, oh, there's no range hood. Oh, the plumber's got this dirty. Oh, I have mice. Oh, there's mice poop on this. Like, oh, all my dishes are in a box. And I think mice got into some of this and pooped on. Like, I am completely blocked. But she is like going over her head, and I understand that. I understand. So now God has educated me that she even had kind eyes. And she looked at me, but she wasn't listening when I told her. I should have just said, "Oh, I can't boil water," and then that was it. And she said, "I'll bring something in so you can do it." Well, that doesn't it doesn't fix my situation. I have boxes full of all of my dishes right here. All of my dishes are boxed up, and mice were going in and out around them. So I can't use any of them. It doesn't matter if you give me a little cooktop. I don't want, like, all this effort to make sure I get a package of free ramen noodles. That is a red flag. She cursed these Lay's potato chips, and I didn't even get to eat them. So once again, they're trying to get me. And you want to know, this is another humiliation ritual. They got me again. This is the most ridiculous things. Well, guess what? I don't pee my pants. I do not pee my pants. Actually, like, I'll even go 2 weeks without a shower and not even really smell bad. Unless it's the middle of the summer, which it happened to be. Like, especially when you eat cleaner foods, you just don't smell as bad. And I do know, I'm going to say, like, now that I've stopped eating organic, like, there is more bad smells. But I still don't smell bad compared to other people. I just don't. And, anyways. And I don't piss my pants. She gave me this bag of chips. The curse, the witchcraft that these guys did on me. Okay, so I'm going to explain how humiliating, how embarrassing this is. How embarrassing this is. I just got my brand new pants. They looked good. They were warm. They were comfortable. I'm thinking I can wear these 1 or 2 weeks now. And then I even went to the bathroom right before bed. And then when I woke up, I had pissed my pants a little bit. I'm going to say that this is not me. I don't do this. I never do this. I don't, well, maybe when I was a little baby. I did this when I was a baby. I don't do this now. I don't do this now. I don't do this ever. And right after, she gave me those chips. And then I wake up. I'm like, oh no, my new pants I just got. And then I had to leave, because actually I set my alarm so that I would just leave and go to the soup kitchen. And I didn't have time to take a shower or anything. And they already peed themselves there. They're addicts. So, and then here's the other thing. As I was having a really cool dream, like an adventure. This is another part of the witchcraft spell. And I remember going through, like, it's like this whole world and town and, like, city and, kind of like in the woods and stuff, and then going deeper. And then there's, like, kind of like when you get out further towards the middle of nowhere, there was, like, some type of natural grocery store, and then went further, and then there's, like, this beautiful old world home. There's, like, something like Incas or Mayans living in there, and it was just real rustic and real beautiful, but, like, handmade, like what you would see on the Travel Channel. So, like, I was on the city area doing a lot of stuff that I don't remember. And this is what happened as my alarm went off and I woke up. And then I went, like, past this, kind of on the outskirts of town, went through this, like, more natural produce, like, grocery store, and then went past that, and it was almost like a tunnel, like a house that was like a tunnel, and it was, like, handmade and primitive. And then there was, like, happy, like, there was women in there, and they were, like, they had, like, these, like, garlic or tomatoes, or, they were making stuff. They had, like, real, fresh produce, and they had families and children and stuff. And so, in the dream, I saw them with the children, and they had families, and they were happy. And then I was crying. I, like, wailed, like, I cried. And then when I woke up like this, I'm like, what the fuck is this? So I don't dream about this. This is not my dream. So this is this is witchcraft. The woman even told me she had, like, 8 children. She told me she had 8 children. I didn't tell her about my kids. No. But anyways, right as I'm waking up, I walk past this house. I'm going through their house, and they're happy and they've got like kids and stuff. And then I don't have that. And then I'm like, no. And I'm crying. I'm like, I don't do this. This is not my dream. I have never dreamed this in my entire life. And I pissed my pants. So do not take it. I'm sorry. So then when this is actually the reason why, and it wasn't a whole lot, it was a little bit, but still I didn't smell as good. And so then when I was at the soup kitchen and those other people were there, and I asked them to watch like my jacket and stuff, and it was kind of like appropriate at this point, and I asked, do you know anywhere where you can get your clothes washed, where for people that don't have access to like a washing machine? And then that's when they talked to me, and they were like kind, like happy, like this, and said, bring them tomorrow, we'll take you, we got a vehicle, we'll bring this, and we'll bring the detergent. Well, I don't believe it. They're probably not going to bring it. But God knows what I like, God knows what I don't like. And I don't sit and cry that I don't have a family, and I don't have children. I have never done this, ever, until she gave me that bag of Lay's potato chips. And I also don't pee my pants. So, oh, and then when I was there for lunch at the soup kitchen, let's see, what is this? So, yeah, that was, that was lunch. Okay, so when I was there for dinner, I'm getting confused. One was lunch, one was dinner. So I saw the couple that offered to take me to get my clothes cleaned. I saw them for lunch, I believe. So then this other man, I saw him during dinner. Yeah, that's what it was. So after lunch, I think I stopped home and I gave the dogs like a little bit of leftover real quick. And then like I left something and picked up my bag that had my headphones in it. Because I know if I left headphones in my bicycle, someone would steal them. Even though they're $5 at Walmart. Actually, these were the $10 ones I kept. So I stopped at my house, which is on the way, to get the headphones. Because I can't leave anything in my bicycle. Let's see. Yeah, so that's what I did. And then I went to the gym. And I hung out at the gym for a while. I walked on the treadmill real slow, and I watched some TV, and it's kind of interesting. It seemed like there was more military people in there again today, and I think they watch me, they spy on me. They hadn't been in a long time, so I think the archons, the serpents, or the devils are working with them, because now that I've been going to the soup kitchen, like, the one guy that recognized me has been like kind of freaking out and like he's like, I don't know, I don't think he's an enemy. I think maybe it was kind of funny. Maybe like I don't know, if you see a famous person or something, you're like, oh my god. I guess, I don't know. I guess I think that's what it was, because like maybe if he's like another from a different world, like he's been alive before. And maybe he knew of me, maybe we weren't friends, or he knew who I was, like in the spirit realm. And they're like, what is she doing here in this small town in Ohio? Okay, and then that was a little, like, just looking like the wolf look. And then his friend came in and was like, had the bug eyes, like, what? And then they hugged. And then after I was going to the soup kitchen, then he didn't want to look, he was kind of like not afraid, more like, where you kind of embarrassed, like, you know, like if you see a celebrity or something. I think that's what it was. And that was from dealing with these demons at the soup kitchen. I guess it's making me famous internationally. This is, like, really cool. So the alien guy, God has, it says right in the Quran too, God has made more than one world. God has made many worlds. And there's a lot of accounts that they're basically all humanoid. Some are slightly different, but very similar looking anyways. And I did see, God showed me a vision of myself in two other bodies too, which I mentioned. So this is quite strange. So anyways, when I'm trying to retake the soup kitchen, which I showed up there just to get free food at first. This is how it happens. Um, and then it turns out that this was a mission, and I wasn't ready for it last year because I learned a lot of stuff since then. Like, I learned, oh, this is an enemy, that's an enemy, that's how to deal with this. And then you're ready to go into, the soup kitchen addicts. Now you're ready to deal with the addicts. And I guess there were some criminals there too. But they don't want to be causing trouble there when they're getting food. They're not going to do, like, inside the building because they need to eat. They actually, it's really good that the staff, they seem to be mostly all. Now, some of them, I did notice an enemy there, but a lot of the people there seem like they're believers, and they have kind hearts, and they're there to help. So, and then they talk to these people, and it's good for them to have an example of somebody that's not cussing and doing drugs. Like, I think that helps them a lot. I don't know what's going on out there. I think that helps them a lot, so. What the heck? Now I forgot what I was talking about. Okay, so, I went to the gym, and then it seemed kind of like there was more military, like some of the older military type guys were in there again, and I noticed, like, they weren't, like, staring, they are trained to make it look like they're not looking. But it is clear. It's like they're not looking at me, but as they're walking by, they are there and they're noticing, they're keeping an eye on me even though they're not looking. I'm not stupid. God gives us discernment. But they're a lot more on the down low about it. So I think there was military people in there today. And then I left the gym. It wasn't really safe because all the sidewalks to get to the gym were like covered and the snow plow had pushed, like it was all bumpy and then it was kind of icy. So there's no way I was going to bike on that. Like I could if I really had to, but like, it wasn't worth it. So I just biked in the road. And then this wasn't really safe the way people just want to get around you. So on the way back, I thought I'd go through. I went through, like, the neighborhood a little bit more without getting on the main road. And I stopped at my house. And then I went to the soup kitchen. And, see what else. Oh, after I sat down, I kind of strategically, I look around and I decide where to sit. So it's kind of like, the place that I would choose to sit is a place where I'm supposed to sit. So normally, if like a lot of the rows are they got a person every few seats, and then there's one that has like more empty seats, like there's more space, or it's easier to get to, I'll sit there. This is just common sense. And then normally the person sitting near there, or that comes and sits down next, is somebody I'm supposed to communicate with. So then after I'd eaten a plate, I think I got seconds, or maybe I was in the middle eating my first plate, a man comes and sits down, and he might have said something to me like hello, but I couldn't tell. So I heard it, and I'm like, he could be talking to someone else, and this has happened to me before, like where someone says something, but they're not talking to me, because I'd never seen this person before, and I didn't know. So I thought, he's either talking to me or he's talking to somebody right behind me. And if I say something, I'll look like an idiot. So I just, because I wasn't really sure and it wasn't super loud or anything. So I just kind of kept eating. And then we started talking again a few minutes later. So he might have actually been trying to get my attention. The person that was sitting right next to me, like they were down and out or they had some problem. And I mentioned like something about there's narcissists all over the place. And then that guy was like saying, he said like narcissist or all these terms and things, and he basically this man, and he seemed like pretty, fairly intelligent, and he wasn't loud, and he actually like kind of spoke like a normal person, but and then so he was like a seat over and then across from me, and he talked to me a bit, and he said the doctors diagnosed him like maybe they diagnosed him like as a narcissist, and he was actually diagnosed as saying like he said no empathy, and I said, oh, like a sociopath. He said, yeah, I've known people like that, and so we talked a little bit, and I told him about like Cain and Abel and the tribe of Dan, and I said, and how you can still get into heaven. And they can still get into heaven. They just make the choice to do the right thing. And he said, it's a word to make the choice to do the right thing. I actually, like, if at all possible, like, this was a destined meeting. Because, like, I wasn't, like, freaking out. I wasn't like, oh, or anything. I've seen this, but it was so strange. I never. So then I mentioned it because somebody else was in a bad situation. I tell you, there's narcissists everywhere. And then he was saying some words and I couldn't really hear, but I could tell they were things like clinically diagnosed disorders, like cluster B. And he said the doctors said that I was this, look, you don't have any empathy. You see how I'm talking? That's how he was talking. I said, oh, sociopath? He said, I've known people like that. So, but you can still get to heaven. And I think he really, he was listening to this and he understood. So you can still get to heaven. You just make the choice to do the right thing and you can go to heaven. And I told him, like, there's a door open. The tribe of Dan, there's a door open for them to get into heaven. And he received this information, so that was good. Because that's really, the sociopaths, if they just decide, like, if you give to charity or you can steal, you make the right choice, you can still get to heaven. And I didn't say this, but I do think, like in the Grinch, where when he does good deeds and he grows a heart, like the Quran says as well. And yes, I am a follower of Christ. Okay, but there's a lot of instructions and things that aren't really mentioned in the Bible. And this is basically what the Quran is. It's the instruction book. And it tells you what is going on. It tells you what to do and what happens and the rules. So basically everything you need to know that's not in the Bible. So that's what I'm saying. You should read this. Don't listen to all the narcissists telling you it's from Satan. It's not. The narcissists are the devil. The Pharisees run the churches, the mosques, the synagogues. They make up the hadith, they make up the epistles of Paul, and then they mislead everybody. So, anyways, I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. So, that was a destined meeting. It seemed like he received the information. Oh, shoot, what was I talking about? I can't remember. Yeah, a woman cursed me, she made sure I took something, and she didn't want to give away the chips. She tried other stuff first. First she tried the ramen noodles that I didn't want anyways, but I can't make. And she kept trying to give them to me, so that was a red flag. And then I had the thought, like, I shouldn't probably keep this. That's why when I got home I walked around and gave them away. You can't do that, apparently. Like, when you take it and, that's when you're cursed. So you can't even do that. Like, I maybe could have left it there in the soup kitchen. So they're sending more people after me. And I hope these people that said they would take me to do my laundry were not more enemies. I hope they weren't. I hope they actually are going to take me to get my laundry done. Let's see, this woman, I could tell she wasn't an addict anymore. But she was still addicted to food. So that was an issue. But she actually seemed like she wasn't. But that's the thing. Somebody can be more good than bad and still have some demons. So if they haven't went through the process, if there's any demon that they're being influenced by, then they can still be used against us. Yeah. And I got a little bit of leftovers. I did not give my dogs any leftovers this evening. I got home. It was really disgusting going through those clothes. And now I'm just kind of concerned, thinking that it'll probably fall through like everything else does. It's probably another setup by the enemy. And the guy today said I was attractive. And so actually, like, I'm getting better at handling this. Because at first, when the narcissist was trying to hit on me, and then, I'm kind of like, I'm not, I was not being, I made it clear, but I wasn't, like, being really, like, oh my gosh. I didn't just say no right away. Like, I was still beating around the bush a little bit. Because I didn't want to be rude. But they don't take no for an answer. And then the next one, and like, because I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, I'm a virgin, like, I just met this guy. Within a few seconds, he said all these things. I'm not stupid. He actually did seem like a nice guy, too. This is what the enemy does. They send people that look like they're decent, and then they come to attack me. And the ones that look real evil, they don't approach me. They maybe, like, walk nearby and look. They don't say anything. I haven't seen it. Maybe they've done something. I don't know. And then the guy today, and he was like, And he seemed a little older, maybe in his 30s. Maybe he was my age. But he's like, you like to party? And stuff. And he's like, and when he complimented me and said I look good, or he said you look pretty or you look attractive, um, and he asked if I wanted to go to a party, and I said I'm going to take these leftovers home and feed them to my dogs, and that's I'm going to have a party. um, and I said you look good, Ellen, you look good. And and just like I tell everybody else, I'm off the market. So it's very clear, but I didn't say it silly. I said it very it sounded cool. So I'm getting better at this. So none of these are real. I don't think any of these are real suitors. Kingdom of Darkness is sending people in, and because God has some mission for me. God has a mission for me, and God is using me to take down archons and satanic networks and things. So they are just trying to get me in some relationship where I'll probably just get distracted and sidetracked and not have as much time. Or I'll be in a relationship and I won't need to go to the soup kitchen anymore. But it's easy to see. I already said no. And so at first I was like, well, we all have, you got somebody, and it's going to be nice, but it was clear they weren't really getting it. And so today the guy was like, you look attractive. And I said, you look good too, and I'm off the market. It was funny. Anyways. But then, so that was a day. Oh, and when I got back home from dinner, it's 5:30. It's already dark now. Well, it's not completely dark yet, but it's getting there. And then there's somebody who I think was spying on me is parked behind the neighbor's house behind theirs, because their whole parking space is full of cars because their garages are being used for people to live in, I think. So they live in their garages, or they rent out a garage, and everybody tries to park in this little space that should be one or two cars. And so when another car comes, it has to just stop in the alley and block everyone. So anyways, there was a black truck parked there, and it was behind the neighbor's house. And then I stopped, so when I got home, and I was like, hi, dogs, and I was like, and then I was being real loud, and then I looked and noticed there's a black truck right there. And so then I stopped, and then I was quiet for a bit, and I waited. And I waited until they left. And I was trying to see who these were, because something had been mentioned through channeling that this person, I think that maybe these people were involved in spying on me. Now, who sent them? I don't know. It was mentioned it was one person before. And so then they were stopped right there behind the neighbor's house, but they could see right into my yard from sitting in their truck. Because it's our driveways are right next to each other, and then there's a fence. So they were behind it. They could see right into my yard. And so I just stood there and waited, and then they left. And then I came back out again, I don't know, I came out again to put my dirty clothes in my bike basket and see if it would fit, and see if it would stay. And now I'm not really sure it will. But then it looked like that same vehicle was there again. So it looked like they left, and then I went inside, okay? And then I was doing this stuff in the house, and I got my dirty clothes together, and then I went back, around the side to my garage to try to put the dirty clothes in my bike basket. And then I saw that same vehicle again, but instead of being right behind the neighbor's house, it was a little further up, it was behind my yard. But I've got a privacy fence, so, here's the driveway. I'm trying to explain this. Okay, so here is the neighbor's driveway. Here is my driveway. So they were parked behind the neighbors, and then they left. Okay, so then I came out again, and here's my driveway. And then there's a privacy fence. Then they were parked right past my driveway, behind my privacy fence, but I could see the back half of their vehicle. It was the same ones there again. So it looked like they left. They probably pulled forward a bit, and then went round again, or they backed up. And then after I came out again and saw them, then they left. So then these people are spying on me. So there was military at the gym, and then there was people spying at me in my yard. And I guess they're trying to send I wonder who they're going to try to send, like, because I said I'm off the market, I'm not going to, I'm not going to go out with somebody. It's kind of funny, like, if I was a teenager, I might have said yes to these. And that's the thing, when I got with my ex-narcissist, I was 17 years old. Well, now I know I'm not allowed to. God says no. God says we're not allowed. And so I didn't know that none of us knew this when we were 17. We didn't know God had a plan for us. Um, we thought that, like, everybody walking around was a human. But no, they're not. They're narcissists. They're people from other worlds. They're people that you might have been alive with in another world before in a previous lifetime, and they know who you are in the spirit realm. Like, weird stuff. And then there's, like, NPCs, or maybe these are just, like, people from a different world where they have less emotion. It could be this. I don't know, but they're not normal humans. This is so weird, the stuff that goes on. That this spell was a total humiliation ritual, and this is what I think God allowed this too. God taught me, even if I take it and I don't eat it, I'm still cursed. Even if I take it and give it to someone else, I am still cursed. So I can't take it at all. And then, like, and it felt good, like, when people are hitting on me, and it's like, I know this is the kingdom of darkness, and they don't actually like me. And they're probably lying, well, what they say stuff. They don't care. Or they get bribed, or they get paid, or whatever they do. I don't know. But, they don't actually like me. I don't believe this. But it was kind of neat practice, because I can respond to it the same way as if it actually was a real person, which I doubt now. I mean, maybe this is real human, but, like, real humans that work for the kingdom of darkness. So it's given me a little practice on how to reject people. It's like, oh, okay, maybe this is, I don't know. I don't know what this is. Some type of training. Some type of training. Like my date with the narcissist. He kept sitting down across from me at the soup kitchen, like, the first few days. Haven't seen him since. And then he said it was our date. Because he got his free meal too. And he didn't even need the food. He said he just ate dinner, and he came in because I was there, and he got the food. So anyways, maybe I won't see him again. Maybe when I told him, the whole town knows who I am, so, go ask him. Just go ask. It's funny. Maybe he did, and so he hasn't came back. And then somebody else asked me, like, my ex's name. Maybe he found out he's Looney Tunes now, and he totally lost because God defeated him. I still have it's not over yet, but anyways. But he didn't destroy me. That was the point. I don't know what's going on. And I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. But it's saying, like, it was feeling good, like, to be important, and then, the employee at the gym notices me, and then they didn't even want to, like, they were doing work real quick and trying to go the other way and not look at me. I think they were, like, like, stunned or something, because I was taking on the archons. And it's just silly. So then God allowed that woman to curse me, so I pissed my pants, and I woke up, and then I saw these other women with, like, family and children. And I'm like, no, I don't have that. And I was crying as I woke up. What is this? This is the most embarrassing. This is embarrassing. And this is not how I really feel. And I don't really piss my pants either. I don't really pee my pants. This is just this one time. As soon as I get the brand new pants, too. I wouldn't have cared. But it was my brand new pants, and I didn't even get to wear them one day. So... okay, I'm going to make a coffee. There's probably more stuff that happened. I think I saw, like, an important number, or like a recurring number or something. I don't know. But if I remember more things, I will put it in my journal entry tomorrow. By the time I get up and then I go to the soup kitchen, it takes me a while to bike there to eat and bike back. Then it's dinner, bike there and bike back, and it's like 5:30 and it's dark. And today I just went to lunch, then the gym, then dinner, and now it's time to go to bed. Like, there's no time to do anything else. so I don't know. It's not really safe on the roads. And city, one thing you have to be aware of is that when you clear the roads, then all of that gunk and ice and snow goes up on the sidewalk. So now we have to walk in the road, because we can't use the sidewalk, and it's even more dangerous. So there has to be some solution for this. Okay, thanks for watching. God bless you all.